Hi, Ben Carpenter here. I'm going to talk to you very quickly about self-monitoring and weight loss. So self-monitoring can be a very easy yet effective tool at increasing your adherence and therefore increasing weight loss. So I'm going to break this down very briefly into different subsections. Number one, self-monitoring food intake, i.e. keeping a food diary. Number two, self-monitoring exercise, training log. And then number three, self-monitoring your own body measurements, weight, waist measurements, skin fold calipers, etc. So, number one, food intake. One particular piece of research sought to examine the relationship between self-monitoring food intake and weight loss. Now, this is what they found in bullet points. The people that monitored it the most, i.e. the high monitors, lost more weight than those who were the loose monitors. I.e. monitoring your food intake seemed to cause greater weight loss than people who didn't really monitor their food intake. Not only that, but on an individual basis, when people had a week of very high monitoring, they would lose more weight than their weeks of low monitoring. So that's on an individual basis. So if someone is more meticulous during the week, they're more likely to get greater weight loss during that week. And then number three, and perhaps to me the most important one, the people that monitored their food intake the most, even on their bad weeks, they lost more weight than the loose monitors did on their best weeks. That means if you're someone that logs your food intake and you have, let's say, perhaps a slightly lackadaisical week, this would imply that you would still lose more weight than people who loosely monitored it did on their best weeks. So this makes a very strong case for monitoring food intake and weight loss. Number two, self-monitoring and exercise. Research on this is flawed and sparse, so I'm going to summarize it with a single sentence, if you will. So there is a relationship or an association between self-monitoring exercise and a decreased difficulty to adhere towards exercise. Therefore, the people who monitored their exercise had a greater association with weight loss. So perhaps keeping a training log would be a simple way to help motivate yourself, help increase adherence in the gym. Number three, self-monitoring your own body measurements. So in a systematic review of the literature, there did appear to be associations between monitoring your own body weight and a greater association of weight loss without, this is important, without a heightened risk of anxiety or depression. So a little bit more detail on that. It's often believed that people that weigh themselves regularly will have perhaps more anxiety towards their own body weight than people who weigh sporadically. However, this review of the literature, as well as my anecdotal experience, would refute that. Because what I actually found is that when people monitor their weight more regularly, they actually have less unpredictability with their weight measurements, which takes away the emotional side of it slightly. So if I weigh myself daily, I become used to fluctuations in weight and therefore I don't freak out. Whereas clients who might only weigh themselves once a month, because of large fluctuations with weight, it becomes so unpredictable. So they might weigh themselves a month from now and then have a massive freak out. Whereas people who weigh themselves regularly become more accustomed to fluctuations in weight and therefore freak out less when this happens. So, cliff notes. If you want to increase your rate of weight loss, tracking your food intake could be a valuable tool if you feel it suits your own psychology. Tracking exercise could be a valuable tool, again, if it fits your own psychology. And tracking your own measurements. So in this instance, tracking body weight, but you can also do it tracking a waist measurement as a very crude measurement of body composition, or skin fold calipers, whatever tool you'd use to measure body composition. That's it. So I hope you found this interesting. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask them on my Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Ben Carpenter Personal Training. Or my Twitter or Instagram pages are both BDC Carpenter. And thank you for watching. Bye.